Hello there, cool cats and kittens. This is Carol Baskin at the Big Cat Rescue. Have you guys seen this series? I mean, I am speechless. Speechless. I watched it a couple weeks ago and I've seen all the TikToks and I've seen everything happening. Is insane to think that this is actually happening. Well, I'm here today, back at it, back at the hair, because when I used the hair conditioner, basically what happened was it wasn't strong enough because, it was a tryout. I've seen a hairdresser on YouTube use it, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it myself. But I think the peroxide is gonna work better because you may not be able to see it, but there is a lot of strings in different colors. I have the neon much stronger under than on the top, of course, because I started from the bottom up. I haven't colored my hair myself in years, so let's keep it at that. And while we're getting my hair ready, I will also tell you the story of this t-shirt, because I was actually in the Tiger Kingdom in Indonesia, and that was quite the experience, but I'll tell you about that during the process of the hair. But I'm here. I'm actually nervous because this looks a lot different than last time, probably because of the peroxide. Yeah, I would think so. All right, so let's do this. I'm gonna start by the front because the back is still very strong in color. So and this section here especially bothers me because there's a little bit of blonde and a little bit of black, and I am going to fail at sectioning again. it's just I don't do anything with my hair, so I'm not used to it. I'm not used with making sections and things like that. So and I hate working with a glove. I really do. But I know how nasty these hair dyes, especially with the peroxide, can really stain your hands. So this I'm going to do way thinner than at the back because I want the color to be stronger here. And I'll be using my hands. I'm not going to use the brush anymore because that was such a fail for me. So here we go. All right, so I said I was going to talk about the shirt. So I worked on a cruise ship for a long time, about 7 years, and yeah, we went all around the world. I worked actually on 11 different cruise ships, and I met people from all over the world. It was the craziest experience of my entire life. Yeah. We were in Indonesia. Oh my god, I just blanked out for a second there. Yeah, so we were in Indonesia. No, we were in Thailand. Oh my god, am I going crazy? Yeah, I'm going crazy. So we were in Thailand, and they have this big tiger kingdom there. And well, we didn't know any better. We really didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. So we get in there and we're like, okay, this looks interesting. We walked in and they had all these cages, and the first tiger that was introduced to us was completely doped. Like, you could lay next to it. I actually have photos hugging it. And that was very scary. I mean, I didn't know what was in store for us later that day. But that first encounter was really bizarre because you are in a like a first cage. So you walk in there. It's like they're trying to, acclimate you to what is coming after that. So you have options to go see cubs, and we were like, the cubs were a little bit more expensive than the adults. So yeah, we were like, you know what, it doesn't matter. We're just gonna go see the adults because, we're we're brave, we travel the world, we can do anything. So we got into the first cage with the doped tiger. That was difficult. That was really difficult because you are like, you really have no idea what you're getting yourself into. So I was like, okay, we're doing this fine, but I don't think I'm ever coming back here. It was already very traumatizing, to be honest. Like, think about it. You I think that's why most tourists do it, because you have that idea, oh my god, I'm gonna go see tigers. That sounds insane. Never in my life will I be able to do something like this. And when you get there, you're like, oh, what have I put myself into? Because basically, you can see that this is not where they belong. First of all, I mean, rationally we know, but you are so excited when you get there that you're like, oh my god, yeah, let's see it, let's see what's going on. So after we pass the first cage, they bring you to a much larger one where there's several of them wandering around. If I remember well, it was about maybe 6 or 7 of them. But this cage was, I don't know, it wasn't big enough to have 7 large tigers. And I would say it was maybe around 20 people at a time. And yeah, that's not a good ratio. Plus, all the guys who are there to guarantee your safety. So you get to this next cage, and some of them are hanging out by the water, some of them are hanging out, on other parts of the cage. And we went to the most further one because all the other ones already had visitors. In this case, us. So they took us to this tiger who was in the where it was the furthest away from the entrance. That should have already been a sign. So it's the furthest away from the entrance, and we were like, okay, this is interesting. And they had these really long sticks with a bell and something to distract them in case they kind of see you there, because they see you there, of course. But it was just like so surreal, the whole experience. Get a photo with a tiger that is awake. So he was just laying there, and you come behind him and you can touch his tail. I'm gonna insert a photo here. And you can play with his tail, you can sort of grab his back, and they tell you what to do. They do tell you what to do. So the whole time this guy is like, don't freak out, don't panic, if anything happens, don't move. Fine. So we were probably a group of 6 people, and each one of us takes a photo with the tiger. Voila, now a group photo. When we prepared and we were like, okay, here is the whole group, and I was the one that was closest to the tiger's rear end. So I was right by his tail. I think something was happening on the other side. I'm not sure what was happening, but this tiger noticed the commotion happening on the other side of the cage, and as he turns around to look at what's going on, he sees us. I have to tell you, I have been scared in my life, but not like this before. I literally saw stars. I didn't see my life flash before my eyes. That's definitely not what happened. But it was surreal, because it looked at us and started slowly opening its mouth, like, I tell you, you have no freaking idea what you're gonna do at that time, at that moment. You're just like, please just go away. And then this guy just starts saying, don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move, stay quiet, don't breathe. You know how hard it is when a tiger is facing you and this guy is telling you, don't breathe? And it was look, it was pretty serious because four other guys came by, if I'm not mistaken. This was a while back, okay? So my memory may not be as sharp as I would like it to be, but I remember distinctively, yeah, distinctively. Sometimes my English sucks. It's not my mother language. Um, so I remember that there were 3 or 4 guides. Well, not guides. Well, they are the guys at the cage, right? So they're like, okay, and they come with these large sticks with the things, and then they're like, don't move, don't move. We're gonna move them away, move the tiger away. And we're like, okay. So we're just sitting there doing nothing, and this tiger is staring at us. And you come to the conclusion where like, this is the last stupid shit I will ever do in my life, ever. um and after that happened, we were all so shook. We were pretty much the whole day we couldn't stop talking about it, because the feeling, the sensation when you see such a majestic animal and you see in its eyes that it's coming for you. There is absolutely nothing that can describe that sensation, We went to a elephant sanctuary. I mean, like, we should have already guessed it would be worse. I mean, for the animals, like, we can see clearly that they're not being well treated. I mean, not well treated, but they don't belong there. That's not. No, they shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be confined in such small cages. um so we went to the elephant ride. Oh my god, that was sad. There was this tiny, well, not tiny, but there was this baby elephant right at the entrance, chained up, and you take photos with it. And I was nearly crying. I was like, oh my god, what am I doing here? Why did I decide to do this? I am such a stupid person. Um, but yeah, I was like, okay, 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 okay. I'm here. I already paid. I am with the gang. We're gonna do this. You have no idea. I don't want anyone to have any idea what it is to be on top of an elephant, because that's not the point. But oh my god, you don't ever want to be there. I am terrified of heights. Oh shit, I missed a part. See, it's difficult to do this talking. Like my towel is nearly gone, and this is gonna be a mess again. It's okay. Um, Being on top of an elephant is bizarre. I mean, I get why people get addicted to it, like we saw in the documentary, but it's not worth it. When you think about it, if you really love animals, it's not worth it whatsoever. So we were on top of the elephant, and it's a very uncomfortable experience because you're shaking sideways and you're not sure if that thing is attached correctly, because it's very poorly made. It's homemade. It's nothing that will actually guarantee your safety, first of all. And we heard of all the accidents that happened afterwards from our taxi driver, so we were delighted to know only after the experience that most tourists have. So I guess we were lucky in that sense. And then as we were going through the forest, I mean, it's a very short patch, but they make the elephants walk super slowly. So after I don't know, maybe 15 minutes on the elephant, I don't know what happened. but a tree fell down, a gigantic tree fell down, and it almost hit the elephant with two people on top of it. I mean, the sound of it was like a thunder. It was so loud, it was so intense, and of course, that scared all the elephants. And what do? Don't breathe, don't move. We were still taking the tiger instructions uh, in our minds, of course. I mean, just me. I cannot talk about other people. I don't know how the other people perceived because, to be honest, I don't remember. I remember the feeling in my chest. I remember the feeling in my chest so clear, clear as day. Um, yeah, and that was my experience in Thailand. And after that, we went back to the ship, and I felt sad for days because I knew that the experience I just had, even though I got this souvenir, was not worth it, and I would never do it again. And after I left, it really opened my eyes and made me more conscious, about how animals are being treated around the world. And then I found out about all the companies that use animals for, tests and trials. And I think, at the end of the day, this was a valuable experience for me as a human being, even though it's not how I wanted to have had this part awakened. But it was also a time of my life in which I was numb to many things. I mean, when you work so many years on board, you kind of lose your touch with reality, and you just kind of are unaware of how the world is. Like for me, uh, it took me quite some time to readjust and to get into all the novelties, because we pay a lot of money for internet on the ship, and so you kind of just, when you're out, you just want to talk to your family, you just want to download some movies and series, and enjoy your time out, because sometimes you can be confined for days and you just want to have some sunshine, drink a beer, relax, and be away from everybody else who's been around you, because you work, you live there, and that's quite an experience. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this story. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of this video, to be honest. I will post this and you let me know if you want to hear anything else, any other stories. I'll probably continue recording another one while I finish my hair because I still have a lot of hair to go through. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, help a girl out. I'm trying to get as many subscribers as I can, because I think I'm gonna enjoy this thing, like me and you doing this together. What do you think? Okay, cheers. I'll talk to you next time.